guys haven't already heard, Canada recently had an election, and the Liberal Party has won its fourth straight term. One of the biggest issues going into this particular election was the issue of mass immigration into Canada. A lot of residents of Canada blame immigration for being the main reason why there is an housing crisis, why cost of living is so high, and why unemployment is trending upwards in Canada. The Conservative Party, who's led by Pierre Poilievre, has been campaigning on reducing immigration significantly. The Liberal Party has also mentioned that immigration will be one of their main focus as they go into another 4-year term here in Canada. Now, many of you guys watching this video is also an immigrant in Canada, myself being an immigrant in Canada. Now, in this video, we're going to be talking about will mass deportation or as mass immigration cause the decline or will cause the improvement of the Canadian economy and the Canadian society. As usual, guys, I want you guys to do something very important for me. It blows my mind every time we look at our analytics and we notice that 59% of everyone who watches our video is not yet subscribed. So if you're a part of that 59%, please take a minute right now and hit that subscribe button because it really helps me out. Also smash a like on the video and leave your thoughts in the comment section. Let's talk about the challenges. As an immigrant, I can identify that over the past 3 to 4 years coming out of COVID-19, there has been a significant increase in immigration, particularly from specific regions around the world. Now, that level of increase has caused a lot of strain in many communities because a lot of communities were inviting and including and taking in immigrants a lot more than they can filter. International student route has been a popular route over the past couple of years. A lot of persons come to Canada to study. Some of them don't even go to school. And you have a lot of bad actors. Persons who end up start frauding the system, scamming the system, saying that they're students and they're not really students. The selling of LMIA and a number of different unscrupulous acts has caused the integrity of the Canadian immigration system to be questioned. This is a fact that nobody can really debate against. It is something that I myself have spoken about on my channel before, and it is something that is evident, and it's something that I believe that has caused the focus to be on immigration. Also, a lot of immigrants come into Canada and they take their bad habits from back in their home country. Habits of crime, habits of not being lawful, breaking the road code, not being friendly, sticking to their own culture, not wanting to integrate. These are just some of the factors that a lot of immigrants come with. And because of that, Canadians see that has been an hindrance to their not only their Canadian culture, but also to their safety and their well-being. That again is also another fact. Now let's talk about the positives. It is also a fact that there's a lot of labor shortages in Canada in many industries, in healthcare, in early childhood education, in construction, in farming, and in many of the low-skill jobs. Right? There's been a labor shortage over the period of time. And the only way these labor shortages can be adequately filled is by getting in qualified immigrants to fill many of these roles. So it has to be a yin and a yang. So let's start with immigrants. Where do immigrants compromise or play a role in the advancement of the Canadian economy? First and foremost, you have to be honest. If you apply to come to Canada as an international student, please go to school. Get that qualification that you mentioned that you're going to come and get, so that ultimately, even if you decide to stay in Canada, you have a skill set or the education that can be valuable within the Canadian economy. Second point, don't come to Canada with the expectation of just working the low-skill jobs, which has been the trend over the past couple of years. Coming out of COVID, the low-skill jobs, the restaurant jobs, apologies for my background noise, the low-skill jobs, the restaurants, the retail, and so forth, so on, has been influxed or predominantly dominated by immigrants, giving Canadians, not giving Canadians the opportunities to work in those sectors. Those jobs have always been an entry-level jobs for a teenager who wants to get their feet wet, or somebody who was recently retired and wants something to do as well. But because there's so many immigrants who are influxing in those fields and ultimately dominating those fields and not willing to hire Canadians, because a lot of the industries that have been monopolized by immigrants from most times from specific regions around the world, once they become a manager or they becomes somebody of influence within the workplace, then before long everyone in the workplace then is from that particular persuasion, from that particular demographic, from that particular country, from that particular culture. That by itself is not the definition of inclusion and diversity, right? So as immigrants, you have to also be fair and understand that you are coming into a country that is accepting and is willing to accept us as immigrants, but we also play a very vital role in making sure that the Canadian culture, economy continues to develop and it remains the country that we wanted to move to in the first place. It makes no sense to move to a country if we're gonna create the same environment that we have back in our home country. We have to do things differently, right? So I know you want to help your family member, I know you want to help your friend, but you have a responsibility to Canada first, because this is a country that has embraced us and has made us who we are today, right? Now, let's talk to the Canadians, the persons who are anti-immigration. As I mentioned before, I started this video by talking about the pros and the cons, so I understand your frustration. But what I will also say is, let's be more embracive and understanding as well to the fact that not all immigrants are the same. One, we're not all fraudsters, we're not all scammers, and we're not all here to take and don't give. So the anti-immigration frustration that you're facing right now, whilst I can understand it, because as I mentioned, there's been a lot of bad actors and unscrupulous activities that's been taking place in your country over the past couple of years. However, it's not fair to use that as a broad brush to just diminish the purpose immigration serves within the Canadian economy. Immigration has always been a vital part of Canadian society. Many of you watching this yourself, even though you were born here, probably your parents, probably your grandparents moved here from another country as well. So whilst you might be a first or second or even third generation Canadian, it started with someone. And just as how your forefathers and your ancestors were looking for a better life, us immigrants are also looking for a better life to give our descendants, our children, our grandchildren. We want to break the cycle of poverty for many of us, and we want to grow our kids in an environment that is considered to be safe and friendly and reliable. So that's the purpose, right? Now, as I mentioned, we have a responsibility as well to make sure that we are playing our role and integrating and not isolating ourselves to just our own culture. So I can get it and I can see the frustration, but give a little grace to the immigrants who are also trying. We're not all the same. Now, is immigration the problem that has caused the housing crisis, the unemployment rise, the cost of living increase? That's up for debate. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. I am not qualified to say with facts that immigration is the reason or immigration is not the reason. So I want to hear your thoughts right down below. But will mass immigration solve the Canadian economy problem? Or, retrospect, will mass deportation fix the problems that we are facing right now in Canada? Will deporting majority of immigrants cause the economy to contract or to expand? What do you guys think? Let me know right down in the comment section right down below. This is a topic that I've been thinking about a whole lot, because both things can be right at the same times. And what is right at the same time is that whilst Canada do need immigrants to fill the labor shortages and in many industries, immigrants also need to play a more Canadian role. Stop isolating yourself to just your own culture. Stop hiring just your own people, and stop creating crime and chaos in the country that we want a better life in. It makes absolutely no sense to bring your bad habits into a new country. makes no sense, right? So both things can be right at the same time. And again, if you are Canadian, leave down below in this video as well if you are happy about the Liberal Party winning the election, or if you're sad that the Conservative Party, or if you're an NDP or another party supporter. Let me know what you are feeling in this video right down below, right? Thank you guys so much for watching. Before you leave, please take a second to hit that subscribe button, smash a like on this video, and leave your thoughts in the comment section. Until next time, guys, I will see you guys in the next video.